Hey guys, and welcome to the Infinity Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the 10 worst reasons that I see as a personal trainer for why people don't do strength training. Now, after doing this for over 10 years, I've heard all the excuses and some. I often used to joke with my clients that they try and come up with new and novel ways to say the same things, whether it was being late to a session, whether it was the reason that they couldn't do a certain exercise or why they hadn't lost weight. This isn't to paint anyone in a bad light. This is just to highlight the understanding around what is going on with the people that struggle. Because at the end of the day, none of us are getting out of this alive. I know as morbid as that might sound, but every single person who is grown older wants to start looking after their health. One of the things we were talking about in the gym the other day was how younger people seem to be more prone to taking risks. Yet as we get older, we start to realise our own mortality. We start to do less because we're worried about hurting ourselves and the impact that that could have on those around us. Yet every single day, we find that people are letting their health slip away. Because you can't see it happening day by day, it's only when it starts to fall off a shelf or you notice that your mobility's gone, you've got constant pain in your back or your knees. It's only when those things happen that people start to take notice and start to take action. And usually that means going to the doctors for help, and then it's pushing it further down the line. And before you know it, you've got to a point where you feel like you can't do anything about it. Then you're showing up as less of yourself, you're doing less, and you're finding that that's having a compound impact on your health as a whole. And the vicious cycle just continues. So what I want to do is go through these 10 reasons and help you to understand some of the ways that you can get around them. So let's dive in. Number one is I don't want to be bulky. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. The majority of people who say this are generally overweight. They're carrying more body fat. Now, in doing strength training, it doesn't mean that they're going to get more bulky. It just means that they're going to get stronger. Building muscle takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. So you would have to be consuming even more calories than you're currently consuming to keep that body fat that you've got. Unless you are specifically eating more calories in order to get bigger, that's just not going to happen. The main thing that you need to understand when it comes to strength training is this is going to help you to have healthier joints, to have stronger muscles, and it is going to change your body shape if you're pairing that with a diet that's allowing you to lose body fat. Number two is I don't have the time. I'm too busy. Now, this is a common one. The majority of people who say this, it's down to work. I work 12-hour shifts. I've got the kids to look after. I've got so many events going on, social events, and I've got too much on my plate to be able to do anything about it right now. And I get it. I totally understand this. Yet we have ladies who come to us who are paramedics, who work 12-hour shifts, who are 4 on 4 off. And we have ladies who work night shifts, day shifts, and still make it work for them. A lot of the time, what people do in this instance is they get overwhelmed with the image of what it's going to take to get them to where their health needs to be or what they envision that to look like. And then because of everything that they've got going on in their life, they don't actually start. They promise themselves, in fact, that they'll do it when things are better, but they never actually take action towards that because things never get better. Listen, if your lifestyle is busy right now, this is probably the best time to start. The best time to start is where you're at right now, because when things do get easier and you start to notice a difference, if it does get to the point where you can do more, it's going to be easier to do that. Whereas if you only start when things are good, the chances are the minute that things get busy again, you're always probably going to be busy at work, unless you're retiring. You're always probably going to be busy with your family. So unless things get to a perfect position, you win the lottery, you've got unlimited amounts of time or something like that, you're probably always going to slip back into those old habits because that's at the forefront of your mind. So focus on the time that you have got available and focus on what you can do right now with the time that you've got. Number three is I already do cardio. Another way of looking at this is a lot of people tell me that I do a lot of walking to keep me fit and healthy. Now, when we're talking about fit and healthy, this comes back to someone's definition of this. Being active in terms of cardiovascular health is really important, but these things go hand in hand. Strength is probably a better indicator than your blood pressure. So when you go to the doctors and they tell you that your blood pressure is high or low, having good strength is going to allow you to manage your health way better. If you go out and run and cycle and things like that, you tend to find that these things are easier because your muscles are way more efficient at moving around that oxygen. So these things complement each other really well. How it fits into your lifestyle is something that you need to focus on and structure, because if your primary enjoyment comes from doing cardiovascular training, running, cycling, swimming, that sort of thing, always prioritize that. but look at where you can introduce some level of strength training. That might be once a week. That is going to have major benefits in just getting started with that. Number 4 is a bad one. I'm too old to start. A lot of people write themselves off way before they've actually got in that coffin. I know that's a bit blunt and that's a bit morbid to say, but so many people say, oh, I'm too old. There's no way that I can start now. And usually this comes from a mental image of what they might look like in the gym to other people. But we train people who started in the 60s. We're training people who are in the 70s who are dealing with complicated health conditions because we're the best place for them to be able to do that. We look after people on an individual level, as opposed to having a program that everyone just comes in and does. If someone comes in and they can't squat, for example, because they've got bad knees, we'll find another way around that. We'll never avoid doing the thing because improving their knees, improving their pain in those knees, improving the strength allows them to do day-to-day things much easier. Listen, if you're interested in getting healthier, strength training is one of the best ways that you can reverse the result of aging. You're losing muscle, you're losing strength at a much faster rate as you get older. And if you're noticing that your balance is off, if you're noticing that day-to-day things are harder or you've had a slip or a fall, having strength is going to allow you to work around those things so that you can stay functionally independent for way longer. Number 5 is I don't have the equipment. Now I'm going to come at this from 2 different angles. From the point of view that if you're interested in strength training, you could buy that equipment. It's an investment. Most people have a tool of some sort in the house that they never ever use. Hundreds of people who will have gym equipment that they bought in lockdown that they never use. Just recently I spoke to 2 members who came to Infinity and then left, promising themselves that they would use the home gym. Both of them have stopped using the home gym. Why? Because they don't have that accountability. But if you've got 1 kettlebell, a pair of dumbbells, something like that to get you started, that might be just the kickstart that you need. The best way to get started is to find somewhere that does it. Now that might be going to a gym, it might be coming to Infinity, but whatever that looks like, it's going to give you something to actually work towards. So it's not that people are without the equipment, it's just that people aren't as resourceful or they're not thinking about it as well as they could. When it comes to having the equipment, it's an investment. When it comes to having a gym membership, if you're comfortable going into that space, again, see it as an investment. Or if it comes to using a personal trainer, it's way easier in that respect because everything is laid out for you. Number 6 is that you find it boring. Now I get this. There is elements of strength training that are boring. There are going to be exercises that you will do that you probably don't enjoy as much. I do this myself in my own program. And I'll be honest with you, some days I just leave them out. We can do that within anyone's program who comes into the gym. There's ladies that tell us that they don't enjoy doing stuff. And for the most part, what we try and do is understand where that person is coming from and what their reasoning is behind this. 9 times out of 10, the reason that most people find it boring is because they're either not seeing progress, they're not motivated to make the change, or because they don't feel like they're doing it right. When you're shown how to do it in a structured way that allows you to see results, you're probably going to find it more interesting to be able to do that because you're going to be getting stronger. You're going to be doing it in a fun and motivating group dynamic that's going to allow you to see results, but also feel like you're making progress, and it's going to be way more fun as well. Number 7 is I'm worried that I'll hurt myself. Now the easy answer to this is if you do it with someone that knows what they're talking about, it's going to be way easier. But I get it, for some people, that's just not the case. But there is abundance of resources out there that are easy to find. YouTube, for example. You can use TikTok now. You could do 10 simple squats at home, but what is the reason that's stopping you? It's a lack of accountability and support. If you've got the right level of support and accountability, you're going to keep on doing the thing that allows you to get the results, and you're going to be at way less risk of injury. Does that mean that you're going to mitigate it completely? Not at all. But one thing that you can guarantee is that if you're doing nothing right now, and if you're getting older, you're leading into your 50s, your 60s and beyond, you're at greater risk of falls and problems. And if your strength is decreasing, you're at greater risk of complications for that. So staying stuck is only making things worse. Number 8 is I won't see results. Now I get this. A lot of people have been to the gym before, they've tried it and they've said that they've never seen results. The easy and simple answer to this is that you haven't been doing things in the right way. But the honest answer to this is understanding the structure and the framework that you're using in order to get there. If you're someone who has gone into the gym and used different exercise machines or done 3 sets of 10 on every single exercise without any indication as to what weight you're using, what exercise you're going to use week by week, how that is going to change, then I totally get it. That's understandable why you're not getting results, because there's no consistency, there's no framework around it. That's why at Infinity, every single person that comes in has a program, and we tailor that to each individual person because everyone's on their own levels. As I've said already on this podcast, we have ladies who've come to us who've got complex injuries, who've had knee replacements, shoulder problems, and we can accommodate for them within the program. Not only so that we can help them rehabilitate those injuries, so that they come back way stronger. We've got ladies who came to us with broken wrists, broken ankles, sprained shoulders, frozen shoulders, all sorts of things like that. They've been able to do push-ups, squats. One lady who has been with us for over 7 years, Hannah, a doctor had told her that she had the knees of an 80-year-old. We talked about it on a recent podcast. And she came to us telling us that she couldn't do squats. And a lot of her concern around the squats was her confidence in it. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't have flare-ups, but she's way stronger and way more confident to do day-to-day tasks. We often joke about some of the things that she does at home. She had a scaffolder out once to fix the tiles on the roof, and she needed the scaffolding pulling down. And they didn't come round in a timeline that she wanted, so she took the scaffolding down herself. Crazy. But that's what strength does. Number 9 is I have joint pain. Now, this I have talked about probably more than all of the others. Stiffness, joint pain, aches, problems, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. These are the things that people who are getting to their later years, after menopause, 50, 60 and beyond, are going to face more and more. Now, if you're not doing anything around strength training, you're at greater risk of osteoporosis. If you're not doing any form of strength training, you're at greater risk of sarcopenia, which is the breakdown in muscle. After the age of 35, you're losing 3 to 8% of muscle mass every single year. And this happens way faster for every decade that you get after that. So at the age of 45, it starts to happen a little bit quicker. After 60, it's off at a cliff edge. That doesn't mean that if you're over the age of 60, you can't do anything about it. There are studies out there that show that people who start training in their 60s have been able to reverse a lot of the problems that have been caused as a result of going through menopause, as a result of being sedentary and having sarcopenia or osteoporosis. So you are not over the hill yet. You can still do something about this. And finally, number 10, I don't know where to start. This is another common one. People have been to the gym, signed up, but at the end of the day, when you go to a gym, what are you getting? You're paying for access to the equipment. It's like walking into B&Q and paying £5 to get a hammer. For what? If you don't know what you're going to do with that hammer, it's pointless having it. What do you need it for? Every single piece of equipment that you find in a gym is a tool to get a job done. And it's really effective when it's used in the right way. When you're looking to get a result, you need to structure it in a specific way. Now, if you're finding that you don't know what to do and you're not getting results when you've been to the gym in the past, you've not been shown in the right way. And this is one of the major things that you won't get shown when you go to commercial gyms. You'll sign up, you'll have an induction, they'll show you around, they might even give you a program to use, but unless you know how to implement that program and then adjust it, you're not going to get anywhere. All it's going to lead you down the road of is frustration and quitting in the end. And probably what you'll end up doing is paying for that membership for a few more months than you need to because you've quit and you're embarrassed about telling them that you've quit. When we do this at Infinity, we bring every single lady in before they get started. Before they even do the first session, we want to do a health MOT with you. This is where we will take a look at your mobility, we'll take a look at your strength and your fitness and talk to you about what your goals look like. This allows us then to personally tailor everything that you do in your sessions to you. That means that when you come in, you're going to have a coach there every single time that's going to show you what exercises are best for you based on your goals and the outcomes that you want to achieve, based on any injuries or problems that you've had in the past, and based on your own personal preferences of how you want to get there. We don't do diet plans. People who do diet plans just prove one thing: they can follow instructions. So when you're doing someone else's program, you only follow their methods in order to get that result. When you get that result, what happens? You go back to your previous way of living. You have to do this on your own terms. And when you do it in that way, you're going to get way better results. Anyway, those are 10 of the problems that I see people use as excuses to stop them from doing strength training. For the most part, the people who are listening to this, hopefully you're looking to improve your strength in some way or another. Hopefully you're looking to improve your health, your fitness, your confidence. Because when you're healthier, you're going to show up happier. When you're more confident, you're going to show up with a different aura around you. You can see in someone's body language the difference in them when they show up healthier, happier, and more confident. So if you're looking to improve your body, regardless of whatever age you are right now, strength training is one of the best ways to do that. Now here at Infinity, we work with ladies who are 40 plus. As I've already said, we walk you through a health MOT before you even walk through the door. Before we even do that, we'll chat to you about what your goals are and what you want to achieve. And then we'll figure out if the program is going to be a good fit for you. If it's not, that's absolutely fine. There are many different options out there for you to choose from. Ultimately, all I want from everybody who listens to this podcast is to make a decision, to take action and to see the results. Hopefully you found this podcast interesting. If you want to learn a little bit more about what we do, you can find us on infinity.fit. That's our website. You can find us on social media, Instagram, on Facebook. Take a look at some of the journeys and the stories that the ladies have worked with us and the results that they've seen. Listen, if you're looking for a quick fat loss solution, we're not the right gym for you. If you're looking for longevity and the benefits of health that go way beyond fitness in the gym, we might be for you. All you have to do is reach out and we can chat to you there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast and I'll see you in the next one.